This has been a Fox News special presentation.
And now, WJCL News, working for you.
Southern Freeze 2014 is here. Georgia and South Carolina both declared a state of emergency. You are looking at a live picture of Bullitt County where the Southern Freeze first hit our area. You are looking at the conditions on Fair Road as we speak. There you see a frozen flag. Well, we have had reports of freezing rain all throughout Bullitt County and parts of Statesboro. We will have a closer look and a live report coming up. And we are now in the midst of this winter storm with places getting freezing rain, ice, sleet. Good evening to you. I'm Jennifer Andrews.
And I'm Kevin Holmes. We have team coverage of Southern Freeze 2014. Ashley Lincoln is live in Bullitt County where there are reports of freezing rain. Larry Spruill has all angles of the low country covered, including Beaufort, Jasper, and Hampton counties. Renee LaSalle and Chelsea McDonald are in Chatham County. They're monitoring the roads and power outages. Everyone working to keep you safe. But we begin with our storm tracker meteorologists, Jeff Kirk and Samara Theodore. They've been tracking this winter storm since the start. Guys?
Hey, thanks, Kevin and Jennifer. Yes, we've been tracking this for several days. The storm is here, and we're still expecting conditions to get worse as we head through the night, as temperatures fall a little bit more, and we see more of the area experiencing freezing rain, sleet, and in some cases, snow. Let's check out what's happening right now. Temperature-wise, we are most places north and west of Savannah are at or below freezing. As you head to the coastal counties, we have kind of a mixed bag of temperatures that are right around or just a little bit above freezing. You see it's 34 at the Savannah Airport, but in surrounding areas, Hunter is down to 32, and we just so you do have some light icing developing on some of the bridges, even in the coastal counties, but more in the way of icing can be found as you head north and west, especially as you get to Bullitt County, out towards Metter, and up through Sylvania, Hampton, as well as into Effingham County and up into Ridgeland and Beaufort. As we check out the radar, you see a lot of green showing up on the map here, and in the northern parts of the area you see more of the pink. Now in the green we're seeing a mix of rain and freezing rain. As you go into the pink, we're seeing more in the way of sleet occurring around Metter and even down close to the Statesboro area. There may even be a few flakes of snow mixed in. There has been some snow reported in Swainsboro as of recently. You notice that white is getting closer to our area, so we will start to see a mix and a change over to snow in some spots. Seeing freezing rain and sleet in Ridgeland. Also over in Beaufort, we've been seeing some freezing rain. And as you head south, we're kind of getting a mix of a very cold rain, some sleet, and just cold enough that some of the elevated surfaces like bridges are starting to freeze over a bit. And that will get worse as temperatures drop just a little bit more as we head through the next few hours. Our forecast model shows precipitation continuing. We may see a break a little bit later on. And then as we head towards daybreak, a better chance of some sleet and maybe a little bit of snow could fall closer to the coast. As we check out our latest model, it actually shows the possibility of a little bit of precipitation lingering through the morning hours. If that happens, it could be in the form of a wintry mix of freezing rain, sleet, and possibly some snow before shifting off the coast. Again, the main issue is the ice. On top of the ice, there will be some areas of snow accumulation. The best chance is well inland, where some areas will pick up more than an inch of snow, places like Statesboro, Sylvania, especially in Hampton. We may see some spotty accumulations closer to the coast as we head through tomorrow morning if we do have a little bit of lingering precipitation in the area. We'll have plenty more coming up in just a bit.
Thanks, Jeff. Southern Freeze 2014 is making a mess of the roads from Texas all the way to the coast. Check out this scene in Atlanta. Georgia State Troopers tell us they've responded to more than, get this, 500 crashes across the state since this afternoon. Some Atlanta drivers abandoned their cars and walked off the roads.
Meantime, bridges in our area, they have already started icing over. We are working for you with the very latest information about our streets.
WJCL's Renee LaSalle continues our team coverage. She joins us live from the Talmadge Bridge with the latest.
Yeah, Kevin, Jennifer, we are on Hutchinson Island, right next to the Talmadge Bridge. I'm not going to lie, it is cold out here and it is rainy, but it has just now dropped below freezing, which means that most of that rain has not yet had time to freeze. However, that has not been the case throughout the entire state. Let's take a look. This is the Georgia 511 road conditions map. You can see there's been quite a lot of activity up near the Atlanta area. Warnings issued as well well as road closures too. Now, I spoke with GDOT Representative Jill Nagel just a few moments ago. There are dozens of crews out scouting our state and our interstate routes. But so far here in the Savannah area, there have been no reports of icing on any of our state or our interstate routes in the GDOT Southern Georgia District 5 area. But this is what you need to look out for. Our bridges are going to ice much more quickly than our roadways. When rain falls on a road at ground level, that ground temperature keeps the rain from freezing immediately. But a bridge will reach air temperature much more quickly, which means when the rain falls on a bridge, it's going to freeze much faster. Now you add sleet or freezing rain, which is going to happen as our temperatures continue to stay below freezing. That ice is going to build up much more quickly. Back here at Hutchinson Island, we are going to keep in touch with GDOT, keeping an eye on your road conditions. But you can follow road conditions in our area too by following GDOT's Navigator 511 Twitter account to get the latest on road closures in our area. For now, from Hutchinson Island reporting live, Renee LaSalle, WJCL News, working for you.
All right, thanks, Renee. Meantime, Georgia transportation workers planned ahead to keep our roads safe. We were in Bloomingdale today as crews filled trucks with salt and rocks. Well, the department has 12 snow plows and more than 40 pieces of snow removal equipment. Leaders want to stress safety is a big concern, especially when driving near their trucks. But even though crews will be on the streets, they can't be everywhere. So Chatham County leaders have set up a number to call if you see a problem. That number is 912-201-4500. And in Chatham County, emergency leaders are working around the clock with other agencies. They are checking in with local, county, and state leaders. Emergency crews say they are equipped, though, to handle the storm.
Public transportation and public services also feeling the impact of Southern Freeze 2014. Chatham Area Transit has suspended all services. That includes all bus routes tomorrow. Regular bus service is scheduled to resume Thursday morning. We've also learned the city of Savannah has suspended all non-essential services tomorrow, and that includes garbage pickup.
And Southern Freeze 2014 also affecting air travel. Flights in and out of the Savannah Hilton Head International Airport, they were all canceled today. And well, they say even more people could be grounded tomorrow. So be sure to check with your airline before you head out to the airport. Of course, we will keep you updated through the night, and the airport will be in constant communication, they say, with the FAA and airlines. They will also provide updates through social media. And Statesboro is one of the first coastal Empire cities to report freezing rain tonight. As we've been telling you all night, it's not the snow that makes driving conditions dangerous, it's the ice. WJCL's Ashley Lincoln continues our team coverage live from Statesboro now with the latest on the road conditions there.
Well, Kevin and Jennifer, right now we're on Veterans Memorial Parkway near Northside Drive, and the road conditions have been fairly mild right now. There have been no reported accidents, but we have gotten freezing rain within the past hour or so. And I want to show you the effects that it's having in the area. As you can see, this tree is starting to form icicles, and this is what could be happening to your power lines and leads to power outages. Also, take a look at these two flags up here. The freezing rain has definitely gotten a hold of these two flags. They are weighed down by the rain, and it's conditions like this why Bullitt County emergency officials held a meeting earlier today on how they are planning for tonight's weather. They are encouraging residents to hunker down and stay inside for the next couple of nights. Bullitt County deputies are patrolling road conditions tonight, and there will be 4 crews on standby to stand roads and bridges in the event of ice. Now, they are expecting the worst of the storm to hit tonight, and currently there are no power outages and no roads that are closed in the county as of now. Bullitt County Emergency Operation Team, they're working around the clock, and we are also working around the clock for you guys to get any updated information that we can to you. Again, there are no power outages in the area and also no road closures as of now. As soon as we get that information, we will have it for you guys. For now, reporting in Statesboro, Ashley Lincoln for WJCL News, working for you.
To South Carolina now, where Governor Nikki Haley has declared a state of emergency. That puts the National Guard and State Operations Center on active duty. The Guard has record teams and four-wheel drive vehicles for storm response. Laws will also kick in to prevent price gouging during the storm. The Palmetto State is expecting up to 6 inches of snow in some areas. Wow.
Yeah, they're going to be hard hit.
Yeah. EMA leaders in Beaufort County are taking precautionary measures to keep you safe tonight. Earlier today, they issued a driving advisory effective right now.
Yeah, motorists there have been told to stay off the roads starting now until Thursday. Our Low Country Bureau Chief Larry Spruill continues our team coverage in Bluffton. He is monitoring the Southern Freeze 2014.
That's right, I'm here in Bluffton, South Carolina, where earlier today law officials announced a ban here in the Low Country. They are asking everyone to stay off the roads leading into Thursday. Now that's mainly because if you follow me over here, there are a lot of bridges like this one right over here leading up to the island. They say if the rain decides to come in plus the snow, the bridges will be the first one to freeze. And that will cause a lot of headaches for everyone here in the Low Country.
It doesn't matter where you grew up or how you learned to drive. If the road's a sheet of ice, you're not going to move on it safely. You can't cross it, you can't cross it, and they'll make that call. But our guys and gals will be reporting back in regularly, monitoring the bridges, and again, we hope to be able to keep them in some manner of passable condition, but there's no guarantee.
Once again, law officials are asking everyone to stay off the roads until Thursday. They say the bridges are drivable, but again, they advise you not to drive over them. Reporting here in Bluffton, Larry Spruill, WJCL News, working for you.
Emergency leaders say ice and snow may lead to downed trees and power lines, so they're expecting widespread power outages all across the Low Country. And we have been keeping a closer eye on school closures this evening. As of tonight, all schools and universities are going to be closed tomorrow, with some closing Thursday as well. In South Carolina, Jasper County schools are closed Wednesday and Thursday. But for a complete list of all of your school closures, just head to our website, WJCL.com.
Road conditions are expected to get worse overnight. If you have to drive, we're working for you tonight by giving you some winter driving do's and don'ts.
Yeah, driving instructor Pat Peruzzo says ice is the most dangerous thing to drive on. He says take it slow if you do have to drive. Also put your car in lower gear to slow your vehicle down. He also says to gently press down on the brake pedal to stop. But if you're starting to slide, he says, well, turn the wheel in the direction that you want to go.
Of all the weather conditions you have, rain and wind and fog, probably the most severe that you have is ice. No one, no matter how good they are, can drive on ice, period. Just take your time, go slow, and if you have to go to snail's pace, if you have to go at all, then go slowly.
It says to use a suitable vehicle, either a small car with front-wheel drive or a vehicle with all-wheel drive.
As the Southern Freeze 2014 hits our area, we want to know what you're seeing. Send us your pictures. Head over to WJCL.com and submit your pictures under the Reported tab. You can also tweet them to us at WJCL News, post them on our Facebook page, or email them to us at newsroom@WJCL.com. We'll share your photos online and on the air.
And our in-depth coverage of Southern Freeze 2014 continues on WJCL.com. There you're going to be able to find out all of the information about warming shelters across the Low Country, up-to-the-minute school and business closures. Also information on what to do if your house is damaged and how to keep your pipes from bursting. It's all there under the Southern Freeze tab on our homepage.
We're continuing to work for you throughout the night, monitoring road conditions and power outages. Tune in to Good Morning Savannah tomorrow morning at 4:30 for more in-depth coverage of Southern Freeze 2014.
That's right. All right, Jeff, so what can you tell us? What's the latest going on out there right now?
Well, right now we have just a total mixed bag of precipitation across our entire area. Let's look at the radar. We can see that we have a mix of rain and freezing rain closer to the coastal counties. And we have more in the way of freezing rain and sleet inland, where you see the pink there as you get up into Bullock County and Effingham County and Screven County. We have numerous reports of freezing rain and sleet with ice buildup occurring. We have some reports of some beginnings of some iciness on some elevated surfaces such as bridges even along the coastal counties. That's kind of scattered. Again, you see the radar showing green, but there are some areas that are at or below freezing, so there is some all are some areas of freezing rain where you see the green on there. We'll continue to see temperatures gradually dropping as we head through the night, so conditions will worsen as we go through the night. In some areas we'll see snow, mainly inland, as we head through the night as well. You see the snow is just on our doorsteps. You'll start to see some flakes mixing in out in Metter, Vidalia, Statesboro, Sylvania. We'll see a changeover to snow occurring in the next few hours as well.
All right, thank you,
All right,
Jeff.
sounds like, yeah, the worst is yet to come.
Yes.
So it's time to batten down the hatches.
Stay in,
and
don't travel if you don't have to.
turn on the electric blanket.
Yes, indeed.
And our coverage continues online, and we'll have more of this snow Southern Freeze 2014 after the break.
He said look good.
And now, WJCL News, working for you.
All right, we are now in the midst of Southern Freeze 2014. As you know by now, hopefully some of the sleet, the rain, the ice, it's all started. Good evening to you. I'm Jennifer Andrews.
And I'm Kevin Holmes. Both Georgia and South Carolina have declared states of emergency. We have team coverage for you tonight. Everything you need to know. We have road conditions. We know that Bullitt County is freezing. We know in some cases there are ice power lines, and that could leave many of us in the dark. Again, we have team coverage of this freezing temperatures tonight. Ashley Lincoln is live in Bullitt County where there are reports of freezing rain. Larry Spruill has angles all over the low country, including Beaufort, Jasper, and Hampton counties. Renee LaSalle and Chelsea McDonald, they're in Chatham County monitoring the roads and power outages. Every one of our crews, they're working to keep you safe. But we start with our storm team, meteorologists Jeff Kirk and Samar Theodore.
Hey, Kevin and Jennifer. Yes, we're continuing to track this winter storm, and we've been seeing varying effects across the area, and the worst is yet to come as we head through the night. Temperatures get a little bit lower, and more of the freezing precipitation makes its way towards the coast. Let's check out what's happening right now. We have plenty of precipitation all across the southeast, and temperatures north and west of Savannah are just about all at or below freezing. As you get to around Savannah and points east and south, we have some areas are around freezing, some areas are slightly above, like you see at the Savannah airport. Hunter has been down to freezing from time to time. We've been seeing some reports of a little bit of icing occurring on some of the higher structures such as bridges along the coastal counties, but more icing reports coming in as you head west. Let's look at our radar, and we see a lot of green on the map. There are some areas of freezing rain within this green here, so we've got a mix of rain and freezing rain. And then we have mostly sleet where you see the pink out in Metter and on the northwest side of Statesboro. Some snow trying to creep in from the west. We're getting some reports of some snow falling in the Swainsboro area, so that's not too far away. Getting a lot of ice up in Screven County now. It's accumulating, and also some ice has been reported, especially in northern parts of Effingham County, around Springfield, Hampton County, freezing rain and sleet, and we're getting some freezing rain in northern Jasper County as well as up in the Beaufort area. And more of that's going to work its way south and east as we head through the evening and the overnight. We're seeing some pockets of freezing rain out there. Again, temperatures hovering right around freezing. And so the first thing to freeze, elevated surfaces. Let's take a look at your timeline going forward. Our latest computer model run showing that mix of freezing rain, and sleet. Changing over to sleet and snow inland, we may get a bit of a lull in the precipitation around 2 a.m. A little bit more will come in later on in the night, and at that time it gets a little colder aloft. As the moisture gets closer to the coast, we may see some sleet, maybe even a little bit of snow mixing in very late tonight. And this model actually has a little bit of moisture lingering along the immediate coastal counties, possibly as late as 11 a.m. That's questionable, but if that happens, it would fall as a wintry mix of sleet and possibly some snow, while inland areas would be drying out. After the ice that we see tonight, here's a look at some possible snow accumulations. We're not looking at a lot of snow, but some scattered dustings to maybe up to an inch in some spots could occur. Again, this is very questionable, but if we have that lingering moisture in the morning along the coastal counties, we could get at least some light snow accumulation on top of whatever ice is out there. And then tonight, further inland, we have a better chance of seeing snowfall amounts of an inch or higher, places like Statesboro, Sylvania, and Hampton. But again, I want to emphasize the ice is the main threat as we head through the night, as that's going to be the first thing to cause power outages and freeze bridges, overpasses, and some roadways as well. We'll have plenty more on this coming up in just a bit.
Southern Freeze 2014 is making a mess of the roads from Texas to the coast. Check out this video. This is video in Atlanta. Georgia State Troopers tell us they've responded to more than 500 crashes across the state since 1:30 this afternoon. Some Atlanta drivers even abandoned their cars and walked off the roads.
Yeah, well, bridges in our area, well, now they have started icing over. We are working for you with the latest information about our streets.
WJCL's Renee LaSalle continues our team coverage. She's live from the Talmadge Bridge with the latest on conditions there.
Yeah, Kevin, Jennifer, we are live from Hutchinson Island, right along Talmadge Bridge. And I tell you what, it is cold and it is rainy out here. But we have not been below freezing long enough for this rain to freeze over just yet. That hasn't been the case for the entire state, though. Let's take a look. This is GDOT's 511 traffic closures map. You can see there has been quite a lot of activity up in the Atlanta area. GDOT has dozens of crews driving our state and interstate roads. Now, I spoke with GDOT Representative Jill Nagel just a few moments ago. She said that there have still been no reports of roads icing over, any state or interstate roads icing over in the southern Georgia GDOT District 5 area. But this is what you need to take a look for. Our bridges are going to ice over more quickly than the other roads. When rain rather falls on a ground level, when rain falls on a ground level roadway, then the ground temperature keeps that rain from freezing so quickly. However, when rain falls on a bridge will reach air temperature much more quickly. So when rain falls on a bridge that is at air temperature, it's going to freeze very, very fast. And now you add sleet or freezing rain to the mix, which we are going to see if we stay below freezing much longer, and that ice is going to build up pretty quickly. Now, back here on Hutchinson Island, we are going to keep in touch with GDOT and keep an eye on your road conditions, but you can also keep an eye on conditions in our area too by following GDOT's Navigator 511 Twitter account. That will send out alerts in our area or on any warnings for road closures on any state or interstate roadways. For now, reporting live from Hutchinson Island, Renee LaSalle, WJCL News, working for you.
Thanks, Renee. Meantime, Georgia transportation workers plan to keep our roads safe, and they did plan ahead of time. We were in Bloomingdale today as crews filled trucks with salt and rocks. The department has 12 snow plows and more than 40 pieces of snow removal equipment. Well, leaders want to stress safety is a big concern, especially when driving near their trucks. Even though crews are going to be on the streets, they can't be everywhere, so Chatham County leaders have set up a number to call if you see a problem. That number is 912-201-4500. And in Chatham County, emergency leaders are working around the clock with other agencies. They are checking in with local, county, and state leaders. Emergency crews say they are equipped, though, to handle the storm.
Public transportation and public services also feeling the impact of Southern Freeze 2014. Chatham Area Transit has suspended all services. That includes all bus routes tomorrow. Regular bus service is scheduled to resume Thursday morning. We've also learned the city of Savannah has suspended all non-essential services tomorrow. That includes garbage pickup.
And Southern Freeze 2014 also affecting air travel. Flights in and out of the Savannah Hilton Head International Airport, well, they were all canceled today, and they say even more people could be grounded tomorrow. So be sure to check with your airline before you head to the airport. And of course, we will keep you updated through the night. Now, the airport says they're going to be in constant communication with the FAA and airlines. They will also be providing updates through social media. And Statesboro is one of the first coastal Empire cities to report freezing rain tonight.
As we've been telling you all night, it's not just the snow that makes driving conditions dangerous, it's the ice. WJCL's Ashley Lincoln continues our team coverage live from Statesboro now with the latest on the road conditions there.
Well, Kevin and Jennifer, right now we are on Veteran Memorial's Parkway near Northside Drive, and the road conditions have been pretty mild so far. There have been no accidents reported, but we have gotten freezing rain, and I want to show you some of the conditions that the freezing rain is doing in the area. As you can see, this tree right here, icicles are starting to form. Well, this is what could be happening to your power lines, and that could lead to power outages. Also, take a look at these two flags up here. The freezing rain has definitely got a hold on these two, and these conditions are why Bullitt County emergency officials held a meeting earlier today on their plans of handling tonight's weather. They are encouraging residents to hunker down and stay inside. Bullitt County deputies are patrolling road conditions tonight. There will be 4 crews on standby for roads and bridges in the event ice starts to form. They are expecting the worst of the storm to hit tonight, and with that comes the possibility of power outages. Currently, there are no outages or no road closures in the area. And Bullitt County emergency officials are planning to monitor all this all over tonight, and also we will too. We'll keep you updated on any power outages or any road closures that happen tonight. Reporting in Statesboro for now, Ashley Lincoln for WJCL News, working for you.
To South Carolina now, where Governor Nikki Haley has declared a state of emergency. That puts the National Guard and State Operations Center on active duty. The Guard has record teams and 4-wheel drive vehicles for storm response. Laws will also kick in to prevent price gouging during the storm. The Palmetto State is expecting up to 6 inches of snow in some areas. EMA leaders in Beaufort County are taking precautionary measures to keep you safe tonight. Earlier today, they issued a driving advisory that's still in effect.
Yeah, they sure did. Motorists there have been told to stay off the road starting now until Thursday. Our Low Country Bureau Chief Larry Spruill continues our team coverage in Bluffton. He is monitoring the Southern Freeze 2014.
That's right. I'm here in Bluffton, South Carolina, where earlier today law officials announced a ban here in the Low Country. They are asking everyone to stay off the roads leading into Thursday. Now, that's mainly because if you follow me over here, there are a lot of bridges like this one right over here leading onto the island. They say if the rain decides to come in plus the snow, the bridges will be the first one to freeze. And that will cause a lot of headaches for everyone here in the Low Country.
It doesn't matter where you grew up or how you learned to drive. If the road's a sheet of ice, you're not going to move on it safely. You can't cross it, you can't cross it, and they'll make that call. But our guys and gals will be reporting back in regularly, monitoring the bridges, and again, we hope to be able to keep them in some manner of passable condition, but there's no guarantee.
Once again, law officials are asking everyone to stay off the roads until Thursday. They say the bridges are drivable, but again, they advise you not to drive over them. Reporting here in Bluffton, Larry Spruill, WJCL News, working for you.
All right, well, emergency leaders say ice and snow may lead to downed trees and power lines, so they're expecting widespread power outages all across the Low Country. Now, we have also been keeping a close eye on school closures this evening. As of tonight, all schools and universities are going to be closed tomorrow, with some closing Thursday as well. In South Carolina, Jasper County schools are closed Wednesday and Thursday, but for a complete list of all your school closures, just head to our website, WJCL.com.
As the Southern Freeze 2014 hits our area, we want to see what you're seeing. Send us your pictures. Head over to WJCL.com and submit your pictures under the Reported tab. You can also tweet them to us at WJCL News, post them on our Facebook page, or email them to us at newsroom@wjcl.com. You can also email them to us. We'll share your photos online and on air as well. You can also track the weather from the palm of your hand. Download our app on your smartphone. That way you can pull up the forecast or look at the interactive radar so you'll know the weather wherever you go. Ice power lines could leave some of us in the dark tonight.
That's right. WJCL's Chelsea McDonald joins us live next, coming up with your latest outage reports.
I'm not going to practice anymore. I'm just going to do it. Kevin and Jennifer, the rain is starting to pick up. I'm by I-95 where drivers are still driving on the highway.
This is stretching through areas like New Orleans, Pensacola, and through Savannah.
Up the coast, riding towards Myrtle Beach and Raleigh. So we're really under the winter storm warning. We're seeing all different forms of precipitation, but now the one that's really going to impact our area is that of freezing rain. So let's go ahead and take a look at this storm tracker explainer so I can let you know what freezing rain is and what it's not. Freezing rain is not actually frozen rain falling to the ground, but rather we're going to have to travel several thousand miles up into the high parts of the atmosphere where there's a warm layer of air. That allows a lot of the rain to stay in a liquid form. As it begins to fall and rain down towards the ground, it reaches colder areas as we head towards the surface. And once it lands on surfaces that are at 32 degrees or below, it instantaneously freezes. So that is where freezing rain comes from. That's the idea there. And we're starting to see that move into some areas. Here's a look at a picture from actually our WJCL own Ashley Lincoln, who's out there doing full coverage for us in Statesboro. This flag, it's not really waving. It's actually frozen. That's a very good example of freezing rain. Now, if you do have any Facebook photos, we do encourage you to send it. It really helps us storm trackers with observations on the ground. And remember, Jeff, Jonathan, and I will be here around the clock. And if your power does go out, you can catch us streaming live on WJCL.com. Don't forget to tweet us your pictures, hashtag WJCL and hashtag Southern Freeze. That's it for now. Back to the desk.
All right, with weather like this, the possibility of power outages is pretty high. We've been monitoring outages throughout the Low Country and Coastal Empire.
Yeah, WJCL's Chelsea McDonald joins us live with the latest on that.
Kevin and Jennifer, the rain is starting to pick up here. I'm by I-95 where drivers are still driving on the highway because the rain has not formed ice on the roads as of yet, but the freezing temperatures and the icy conditions are coming into our area. So drivers, be sure to drive as carefully as possible and get off the road as soon as you can. Now, the freezing rain turns ice on the roads, but it also turns the tree limbs icy as well, which can cause them to fall onto power lines, which causes outages. We've had more than 100 low country outages reported, and there's been some outages reported in Georgia, but there are none reported as of yet. Now, Georgia Power has brought in an additional 400 units from Florida to come and help with any outages that we have here in our area. And it's important to know, if you see a downed line, treat it as if it were live. Make sure you call Georgia Power and report it. Now, a way that you can report those outages is by going to Georgia Power's website. It's georgiapower.com/storm. There you can report any outages on your mobile phone or on your tablet, and they are certainly staffed and fully staffed for you to fix those outages. If you do have any outages in your home, make sure you stay warm, and by doing that you can have extra blankets and extra scarves. And if you don't have a generator, you may have draft block to prevent the air from coming into your doors, and also insulating foam tape. And if you have firewood, why don't you just light up the fire and have a cozy night by the fire while you're waiting for Georgia Power to come and fix your power lines. And we will certainly keep you updated with any additional information about these power outages. Go to our website, WJCL.com, to see if there are any outages as well, but also report them on Georgia Power's website. Reporting near I-95, Chelsea McDonald, WJCL News, working for you. Back to you, Kevin and Jennifer.
All right, thanks, Chelsea. She's seeing the glass half full. Make it a cozy night by the fire, right?
Exactly. We'll have another look at your forecast after the break. Stick with us.
Temperatures have been slowly falling this evening. In some cases, not quite down to freezing just yet. Now, as you go north and west of Savannah, pretty much just about everybody is below freezing at this time. We have scattered areas around or below freezing south and west of Savannah. At the Savannah airport itself, temperature right now is 34 degrees. But we have had some reports even out on Skidaway Island, the bridge, starting to freeze up a little bit. So even though if your temperature right now is not at freezing, some areas near you may be. So don't travel if you don't have to. By 2 a.m. we should all be below freezing, and it gets even a little bit colder towards daybreak, down to about 30 or even to the upper 20s. And any ice or snow that's on the ground, these temperatures here will just make that even just a little bit worse. So again, a lot of the roadways, especially near the coast, may be okay right now, but even just a little bit of ice is going to make for a treacherous travel in the morning. So best advice is to not plan on traveling unless you absolutely have to. Let's take a look here at the radar. We can see that there's a lot of green on the map here, but there is some freezing rain mixed in with the rain here. So it's not all just falling, it's just plain rain. But we are going to continue to see a little bit colder air coming in, and that's going to make a difference as we head through the next several hours in terms of increasing icing conditions setting up. As we head to the north, we've been seeing quite a bit of freezing rain and sleet from Metter to Statesboro and northwest of Statesboro. Screven County even looks like even a little bit of snow starting to come into the picture north of Sylvania, and that snow line is going to continue to gradually move a little bit southeast as we head through the next 2 to 4 hours. Hampton, freezing rain and sleet. I suspect up in these areas that we're going to continue to see more in the way of ice accumulation leading to power outages. That is the highest risk area right now, and that line will continue to gradually head south and east as we head through the overnight. Let's check out some headlines for the inland areas. We've been looking at mainly freezing rain and sleet as we head past midnight. Some spots, especially the one I just showed you, we'll start to see some snow mixing in. Freezing rain and sleet will continue elsewhere. And then we're looking at precipitation coming to an end maybe around 5 a.m. as a mix of sleet and snow and possibly still some freezing rain. And ice, the main thing, but some snow in the back end for some areas. At the coast, we are looking at that mix of rain and freezing rain going to all freezing rain. And we've had some sleet mixed in at times. We'll continue to see more sleet mixing in through 6 a.m. And after that, we may get some snow trying to mix in some spots. It's going to be sporadic. Most moisture will be pulling out around 8 a.m. Some models are showing that it could linger a little bit longer. And if it does, we may see a bit of a sleet snow mixture if that does indeed happen. Now let's take a look into the future. Tomorrow night we go down to 24. We may struggle to get above freezing during the day tomorrow because of lingering clouds. So anything that's out there frozen on the roadways will not get better until Thursday. But it will all improve Thursday because the sun will come out and everything will melt off, at least certainly on the roads. And so travel will become much better that day. And then look at the weekend. We're up to 70 degrees. Looks like the weekend's going to be a great weekend to look forward to.
As Jeff alluded to, road conditions are expected to worsen overnight. If you have to drive, we're working for you tonight by giving you some winter driving do's and don'ts.
That's right. Driving instructor Pat Peruso says ice is the most dangerous thing to drive on. He says take it slow if you have to drive. Put your car in a lower gear to slow your vehicle down. He also says to gently press down on the brake pedal to stop. And if you're about to slide, he says turn the wheel in the direction that you want to go. Good tips.
Great tips.
All right, we'll be right back. Stay with us.
Good evening. I'm meteorologist Samara Theodore here in the Storm Tracking Center. We are keeping our eye on this Southern Freeze 2014 right now. Here's a look at the live radar. A lot of interesting things going on right now. As you can see further north, that's where the snow lies in the white. But then look along the periphery of our region. You're starting to see that pink really begin to seep in and also mix into some areas, showing that there is freezing rain. All right, so we're going to take a look right now at some storm reports. Let's go ahead and zoom in and choose a few here. Let's see what's going on. We've got some freezing rain coming down in areas. We've got freezing rain as of 10:11. This was reported. Ice reported on the Diamond Causeway Road Moon River Bridge near Skidaway Island, and that's out of Skidaway Island. So we do have some freezing rain there. Again, that's rain that freezes once it reaches contact, or it's in contact with the surface. Here's another report. We've got freezing rain. Thunderbolt Police Department reports that the Thunderbolt Bridge is beginning to accumulate ice. That can be very, very dangerous. So do keep that in mind. That's the Thunderbolt Bridge, again, accumulating some ice. Let's take a look at one more. How about we zoom in a little bit more further out in the periphery, where a lot of interesting things are happening as we're seeing that change over in areas like Statesboro. At 6:54 p.m., a little earlier, freezing rain accumulations began. A light glaze over elevated surfaces. So that's really the first thing you begin to see. You see that nice little glistening glaze? That's actually that ice really beginning to set in, and as the temperature continues to drop overnight, that's what we're going to see. Now, that's the thing. Throughout much of this area, we are beginning to see that we have rain, but I want you to know, once that second ingredient of temperature really kicks in and we move to the morning hours, we're going to begin to look like what it does in Hendersonville as that pink continues to seep in. Again, that is freezing ice and freezing weather there. And in the deeper greens, don't be fooled. Sometimes that's not just rain, but that's also some sleet falling as you look into the really dark green out just south of Pembroke. Hinesville again reporting more freezing rain throughout that area. So we've got a lot going on the radar right now. I know for some of you it can look deceiving, freezing rain, but I want you to know that it will turn into ice at some point throughout the night. But keep it locked here. We'll have more on the other side of the break.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, Samara. Appreciate it. Well, it sounds like we better batten down the hatches for the rest of the night, because things from here on out may be getting a little bit worse and continue on through tomorrow.
That's right. But remember, our coverage continues online at WJCO.com. Our morning news begins at 4:30.
All right. Have a good night, everybody. Stay safe out there, and we'll see you back here for Good Morning Savannah.